Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You are welcome to UPSIFS. Dear friends, I, Dr. G.K. Goswami, welcome you to this show. And as you know that today our esteemed guest, Professor M.R.K. Prasad sir, is with us. He is a renowned constitutional expert, legal clinic education, and many more subjects which he has gathered more than 3 decades of experience in this field. Sir has gained his education from diverse educational institutions, including his LLM from US. And I am fortunate and I am happy to share then that when I was Joint Director in CBI, I was pursuing my LLM, and at that point of time, Sir was on deputation to Indian Law Institute. I think it was on secondment, sir.
Yeah.
So I had been a lucky student that Sir has taught us the constitutional law, and I can vouch that he is one of the best legal expert on constitution. So we requested him, and Sir has graciously accepted our invitation to interact with our students. Sir is here for a couple of days and interacting with our students of law in LLM and B.Sc. LLB courses. So welcome, sir, to this show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And we are grateful as the family of UPSIFS to welcome you, and grateful especially that you have accepted our invitation and you have traveled from Goa to Lucknow. I understand that this period of your busy schedule, it is very difficult to spare so long time, but you have accepted our invitation. So again, we are grateful to you, sir.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. And indeed, sir, my students are so happy. I interacted today with them, and they convey me that your arrival here, your interaction has made them to understand the nuances of Constitution in a very different manner. Sir, I want to ask few queries. I thought, as usual, that your vast knowledge should not only be limited to our student. I think all students, all legal fraternity may be benefited with this interview. Sir, this institute is very new, and so may be many other institutes. So what kind of advice you provide that the educational institution, particularly for imparting legal education, what kind of pedagogy and other things should be taken into account so that the student may be made more and more conversant with legal precepts and other things.
So, sir, first let me thank you. And
Sir.
it's a long-standing visit it was
Sir.
pending.
Yes, sir.
First, let me say a few words about when I landed Lucknow and entered your campus. I was pleasantly surprised to see that there is a full-fledged campus.
Thank you, sir.
And probably it is my first experience of having an institution just started this year with a full-fledged campus. Usually they start in a rented apartments or rented premises, but that shows the commitment of yourself and the state of UP.
Yes, sir.
I would say congratulations for you, and also it's a heads off to the state for putting such an infrastructure before starting a course.
Sir,
So that the students doesn't affect by the infrastructure. It was really great to see that.
Sir, indeed, the government, especially our Honorable CM, is very much committed, and he always say and expect me to build up this institute, a world-class facility, sir, and the entire system is committed for that achievement or that target to be achieved. So, sir, thank you very much for your compliment.
It really reinforces our belief that if the state is really interested,
Sure, sir.
it can move earth to start.
Yes, sir. That's true,
So
sir.
on that positive note, let me say that I have interacted with few of your students. They are bright and they are really interactive. First, let me say that this thing that you have a distinct advantage compared to other law schools.
Sir.
This is established first by, it is backed by the state and you are affiliated to a forensic university. Your expertise is in forensic university and you all know, because you know very well than me, you are in the field that the new criminal law has made it mandatory for forensic experts and forensic investigations, etc.
Sure, sir.
So in that aspect, I think you are going to be a pioneer institution. There are very few institutions, probably two.
Yes, sir.
Looking at BSc, LLB with some kind of a specialization in forensic science. Now I'll look at that and say that more and more forensic requirements would be increasing because of the technology that is developed. So your students will have an advantage.
Thank you.
So I am expecting that this institution would cater to that needs. And I am also requesting not only just look at your students, but look at the entire nation that is required.
Yes, sir. Very true, sir.
Because see, this is the area where we have neglected a lot. And you have visited US, which is a very advanced country where the forensics are used extensively.
Correct.
And the proper use of a forensic also brings a lot of justice to the people. In that aspect, I think you have already a foot advantage. And my sincere request for any law school, not only your law school, but any law school, law students and teachers, is that the legal education has to be a justice education.
Sir.
In a sense that the primary goal of legal education, legal profession is to provide access to justice to the public.
Public and the poor especially.
And particularly the downtrodden, poor, marginalized section.
Sure, sir.
And also if you look at our constitutional goals,
Sir.
Justice, liberty and equality.
Sir,
Now,
preamble.
who else can better serve than the law colleges?
Sure, sir.
So my suggestion is that all the legal education or the legal curriculum should evolve around those constitutional principles to create students as a competent law professionals who have socially relevant and have a high social consciousness. In that aspect, because I also happen to have an experience with running clinics by the law colleges. So I am particularly looking at your school to start some kind of a legal aid activity, particularly on the digital frauds, internet frauds, because you are in a position to do that.
Sure, sir.
Where other colleges may not. So this is what I always suggest the colleges should play to their strengths. Your strength being that maybe you should be pioneering about the legal aid in what I call these digital frauds, internet frauds, etc. Of course, with other things. And I also expect the students to learn the skills that are required for a lawyer. So they're going to be here for 5 years, and those 5 years I expect them. That's what I spoke to them also in the morning, that we identified a few skills that a lawyer required.
Yes, sir.
And ask them to look into every opportunity that this college gives
to
improve that skill.
Sir, when we were discussing a few hours earlier, sir, you have suggested and advised that we should start certain certificate courses and other things. And first of all, sir, I want your commitment that we want to be our mentor. So I will send you a request, and if you kindly accept that, it will be of great help for us. And another disclosure I want to make, sir, that our institute has initiated one Innocence Clinic, sir. So when I went in 2022 as Fulbright Fellow, and sir is also a Fulbright Fellow, so that legacy actually I followed what sir has done already. So that is another commonality we both have, sir. So I worked on wrongful conviction and innocence claims, sir. So we are the first Asian country and probably there are very few countable only which have started that. So we are starting, sir, Innocence Clinic also. So this I want to inform you, sir. And as you said, and I think it's a very good idea, that on cyber forensics, especially awareness and other things. So these clinics will be a very good motivating and catalyst for various reasons, sir.
And particularly the younger generation going to the schools, targeting the colleges and all, what are they sharing in internet space, in social medias, the posts that they put. Most of the time they don't know what are the do's and don'ts.
Exactly, sir.
And they would be on the wrong side of the law.
Yes, sir.
Just because of their ignorance.
Ignorance and some, unwanted interventions
exactly.
and all. Yes, sir.
So that is where I think you can play. And of course, the Innocence Project is very great. I also followed your articles when you went there.
Sir, thank you,
is one of the greatest thing that if you could start that would be nice. And as I suggested in the beginning, don't look only for yours. So that's why the question of the certificate courses comes in picture.
Sure,
now,
sir.
who are the stakeholders that could be benefited? See, every lawyer need to be some kind of expertise in forensics.
Sure, sir.
Because when they are either acting as a prosecution or a defense lawyer, they need. And it is not necessarily only criminal cases, but a lot of digital evidence is admissible under the court, under the new BSA. There are a lot of things that the lawyers should understand.
Sure, sir.
And also I am looking at the AI generated evidence. Because now because of all these video cameras everywhere and CCTV cameras.
Say, sir, regenerative AI.
Yeah. So I'm not talking about digital information. I'm talking about AI generated evidence.
Yeah, that's what the regenerative AI.
Regenerative. See, earlier an expert will sit and compare the photo,
identify and can say that yes.
But today it is done by AI.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Facial identification done by AI. And more technology that we are using, I think the litigation regarding technology is going to be vast. So, and also the blockchain technology, which
blockchain, yes.
Blockchain is a big event that is
advantage also, sir.
It is advantage, but at the same time, it's also a challenge for the court. So that is where you need to train judges, you need to train police officers, lawyers, law students, maybe there are n number. That's why I am requesting you to start those forensic, any certificate courses on forensic. Allow
yes,
people
sir.
to
take your advice, sir, very seriously, sir. And I think, sir, by mid of the next month, we are planning. Just after you left, I called my officers and the team, and we were just thinking. And I will consult you, sir.
Because sure, I would be any help. I would be very glad to be associated because I know your commitment. So I would never say no to you.
I know, sir. That's it. Sir, mere liye it is something like you are my guru. And I still remember the way you taught us the Constitution, the material you supplied, sir. It was phenomenal. And I was telling to the students that you are lucky that sir has accepted this.
No, it's my privilege of coming.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Sir, one more thing, as you rightly mentioned, sir, that these days the students of law, particularly, they face a lot of problem because in the beginning they may not get the type of exposure, particularly the internships and others. So, career in the beginning for any law student is a very, very tough job.
Yes.
So, any advice you want to give them so that they can withstand this challenge in life and all, sir?
Yeah, see, one thing that the gestation period in establishing as a lawyer is much higher to compare to other professions.
Other jobs,
but I would say it has come down to drastically when I am doing a law.
Sir.
So now there are many law firms who would be taking in the beginning only, but there is one idea that you could think of is that starting an incubation center.
Okay, sir.
So the idea of the incubation center is that we understand this, particularly the students who wanted to practice in the lower courts on their own. The primary challenge for them is the office space and other. So that is where if the college can start an incubation center, right from the beginning, maybe appoint one or two good lawyers who are seniors to teach them how to become a lawyer.
So this is a very great idea.
And in fact, we have also have a suggestion of if some space could be given them at very nominal cost.
Very good, sir.
And provide facilities, nominal facilities like printer,
Like printer, some typist.
Wi-Fi.
I got it, sir.
And like a small cubicles.
I understand, sir. I think
That would greatly help the students who wanted to go into practice, because that's one of the challenge as a teacher for us. I don't want everybody to rush into only law firms, but this community also requires the barefoot lawyers.
Sir, I think you have given a very new concept. I have ever understood the incubation center only for technology. In fact,
Yeah.
sir, we are preparing for the incubation center for our cyber security and other things. But sir, you have given a new vistas to my thought process, and we will certainly, sir, start. And I will give the whole credit to you, sir, to conceive this. Sir, truly speaking, I never thought that incubation center can be designed
It would work.
for the legal education or practitioners of law and all. So it's a very novel
Because
idea.
This I have seen because in Goa, this government has provided some space for the business entrepreneurs,
Sir,
like incubation center kind of.
sir.
So why not for the law?
Sure, sir. I think it's a very novel idea,
We
sir.
tried and we said any student who is less than 5 years practice could hire this place. Maybe we charge some 3,000 to 4,000 rupees just to maintain the space.
Sir, surely, we will definitely start, sir, and we have, means you have given a new idea. We will cultivate it and definitely come up with the idea, sir. Sir, the last but not the least, because I want to talk more about the issues and challenges what institutions face, especially the younger institution like us. But another issue and challenge is to get the faculties, sir.
Yes.
That's another problem we are facing. So, like, as you rightly mentioned, sir, like incubation center and all, do you have any other idea how to supplement the crisis of faculty? Because you have vast experience and being the head of the department and other responsibility. So, you must have faced this challenge. So, how to mitigate?
Yeah, faculty is always a challenge, and particularly when you are starting a new line of law school. One big problem that you would face is particularly in forensics, there may not be a full-fledged faculties available. That is where that you need to have that industry support.
Sir.
So people coming from the industry becoming professors now under the UGC rules allowed.
That is
but
professor
again,
of practice. Sir.
Yeah, but again, if you are looking at, let me talk to you very frankly.
Yes, sir. Sure,
Okay?
sir.
Suppose you want to ask some teacher at least about 45, 50 years level, associate professor or a professor to come to your place. Why would anybody come to your place?
Sir.
There would be two reasons. One, it would be very challenging and very stimulating for them to come and teach.
Sir.
This is one. Second one would be the perks, the economic benefit.
Yeah.
Financial benefits. Because if you are targeting at the mid-level employees, they are already well settled in their place, their children will be studying someplace, and it is very difficult for them to relocate. So, either you create such a kind of an atmosphere where the faculty would be able to work independently and bring their own ideas, and the institution is open to those ideas. This is one way of attracting. Second one is financial incentives.
Yes,
maybe we should rethink about the compensation that we are paying to at least certain people, particularly when they are coming from industry or top lawyers who wanted to come and teach. Maybe we should offer like IIMs or IITs. This is one area. The third one is sometimes still it will be difficult to get some of them. Then what you have to do is kind of an MOU with their institutions and bring them for a month, 20 days, 30 days and offer the courses. That would be much easier if you have an MOU and work out those kind of things. Then relieving the person from that institution also would become much easier.
Sir.
So you could think of, for time gap, because the other two things are, it will take little longer time.
I think this is the third option is more workable.
Third option is much more workable. So you have to see, and particularly if your semester is not clashing with them or if they have kind of a holidays or something,
Yes.
that would work much easier. But only thing is you have to design in such a sense that what kind of courses that they would be able to offer, and they should complete the course and go.
Yeah.
I think it would work if you identify a few people whom you are really looking into and what is their expertise, and that should be. And also, particularly these areas like arbitration, then consumer rights and commercial litigations and all, there are some young lawyers, maybe 7 to 8, 10 years experience. They are good. They are good at teaching as well as they are practicing. So maybe call them for a weekend, something like that. I know few of my students who are extremely doing well. They are also still in touch with academics.
Okay, sir.
So I think you also have a lot of your friends who are studying in ILI
yes,
now. They are in good positions.
Yes, I understand.
So I think that would work.
Sir, one another point which I discussed with you, this institute has designed and innovate one idea, law with labs, because we are, as you said, that pioneer in this field to that extent that we have very good quality of forensic labs. And as a police officer and as a researcher, I observe that there is a, gap that the legal fraternity, right from our honorable judges to the prosecutors, defenders and all, they do not have that much, understanding, or you can say the exposure to the forensic reporting, forensic analysis and all. So what they do, they generally read the operative para, the concluding para, and they generally move forward. And there are so many background notes which may be misleading and ultimately lead to miscarriage of justice. And you rightly know, sir, that Anokhi Lal case is a glaring case.
Yes.
Without saying much about the Anokhi Lal case, which is a very glaring case, sir, how do you rate that the concept introduced by our institute, Law with Labs? We want to provide the hands-on training and hands-on exposure to our legal experts, legal student on DNA, fingerprinting, then voice spectroscopy and various other domain of forensic science. So how do you feel and appreciate, or you can say guide us further, that how best we can utilize these facilities, sir?
The first thing, let me say that it's a wonderful idea.
Sir, thank you, sir.
And as you know that any professional course, ultimately the professional who is graduating from the college has to perform. When they will be able to perform? Unless they understood the practical.
Correct, sir.
So therefore, labs are the most important for your institution.
Sir.
And now, say for example, whenever any expert is produced before the court or an expert report is produced before, the court also should have some kind of a knowledge about it.
Sir.
So if I am looking at fingerprints, whether it is matched or not matched, if that is the report comes to a judge.
Sir.
You cannot as a judge go blindly on what is the report. You also have some kind of a background knowledge is required. Similarly, a lawyer who is either chief examining or cross-examining also should know.
Yes, sir.
Right now what we know is that fingerprints is admissible evidence.
Yes.
But what is the intricacies of the fingerprints? How do you match? Whether the match is perfect or not? These things none of us know, including I am teaching evidence for so many years.
Understand, sir.
But I never went into a lab.
Sir.
Okay. Similarly, a ballistic expert will give you firearms, etc. So I think if you can bring them to your lab, I think that is the greatest service that you will be doing to the legal profession. And I would encourage you to maybe tie up with your Judicial Academy.
Sir.
And have courses in association with them for the judges, public prosecutors. And if you look at the mandate for the Bar Council of India, they are supposed to conduct continuing legal education for the lawyers.
Yes, that's right.
Which is not
being done as
not done in systematic way.
Systematic way, of course.
I wouldn't say that they are not doing, but
they are doing.
Again, they also have limitations.
Scope to improvement.
Yes, scope to improve. So that is where you would step in.
Sure,
and institutions like you can have that advantage. And one advantage with labs is that it's not boring.
Yes,
see,
sir.
If you keep them 5
refreshing.
hours of teaching
Yes.
what is the constitutional developments, you would sleep. But here you are bringing them, showing them how it is.
Yes.
It would be really
It's practical.
Effective and practical, and they would be enjoyable experience. And I'm pretty sure with your campus, I think you should be able to manage it.
Sir, sure, sir, and we will definitely extend this service to other institute and other students, as you, every time you said this, and it is very much, accepting
Because
phenomena.
my idea of knowledge is not a reservoir, it should be a fountain.
Yes, sir.
It should spread.
Yeah, it's a spring. And that's a very good statement, sir. Sir, at the last, what is your advice or your sermon, or how you can just in a nutshell give some advice to the legal students, legal fraternity, especially the young ones, that how best they can serve the nation?
See, the one mistake that we always do as elders is we compare our generation with them.
Yes, sir. That's very right.
They are not we are not them.
Yes, sir.
See, what challenges we faced, they don't have that challenge.
They have the different set of
They have
challenge.
a completely different challenge.
Yes, very right, sir.
For us, to get a textbook is a great difficulty. Yes. I'll give you an example.
At that time, sir.
Yeah, I'll give you an example when I became a teacher. When I'm sending my team for a Stetson moot, it's an international moot, we heard that there is a book by Stark, and we couldn't afford.
Sir.
It's not available. But there are some universities carrying that book and arguing there.
Very right, sir.
So, but that is gone today.
Nowadays,
Everything is available.
Pumped up.
Pumped up. But it also given a lot of headache for them, because the information that is generated by either Google or by any other search engine, a lot of issues how to select what
Select
is right.
and this is genuineness.
Genuineness.
Yes.
So there is also a challenge for
Yes,
them. And another problem is the attention span of the
Students.
Gen Zs.
Yes, Gen Zs.
They earlier it was maybe 15-20 minutes. Now it is not more than 5 minutes.
Very
So
true.
that is where the challenge for the teacher to engage them in the class. This one, and also talk to the students and explain anything that the institution is doing. For example, you are asking them to make a presentation. Why you want? What is the benefit that the student get? Because today everything is what is for me in it. So that is where we need to impress the students that whatever the activities that we are doing is for the benefit of the student, rather than making it mandatory. Anything we make mandatory, it will be looked with
It is a
contempt.
kind of compulsion.
Compulsion, if you say that, they will look at contempt, how to avoid it.
Yes.
But if you impress them that this is the way that you would learn more, that's one. And I expect the students not to waste their 5 years time in the law college just attending classes, but also when they are choosing, say for example, an internship. I expect them to choose at different internships in different places so that they will have an exposure. Diversified field, because today, those days when we were studying law, the only profession is going to the court, nothing else.
Nothing else. Yes.
Maybe you may become judge,
Yes.
which is rare, that those number of judges also less. But today they have opportunities everywhere. I'll just to share you, one of my student has joined in a company which is providing compliance services purely on Posh Act to the corporate sector.
Okay, sir.
I could never imagine that that kind of a job is there.
At that point of time when you were...
When we started that project Posh about 3 years back,
Sir.
strengthening all the private actors to start their own internal committee and all. One of the students who was trained, now she is joined in a corporate sector.
To address this issue.
So you can't even imagine, look at how people are thinking way ahead. So we need the students to think critically, challenge the established norms, and look at the avenues. That is where that in the classroom, the students should have that freedom of expression. Most of the time, we have this culturally that the students are always respectable to the teachers, which is good thing, great thing. But that doesn't mean that the students cannot question, unless we provoke the students to question things.
Yes, sir, that's very right. Interactive sessions.
Interactive sessions. With that, the students will have a better understanding of the law. And once that comes into their mind, a better understanding, then they will explore.
And it should be a participatory learning.
And the duty of a student, teacher is completely changing now.
Yes.
We are more like a showing guidance or a way for them rather than becoming a parental authority.
Sir.
Now children don't expect us anymore as a parent. We may feel them are our children because they already have two parents. They are fed up.
They don't want more
They
parents.
don't want more parents. Exactly. So that what they expect from us is to guide them.
Guide. They
So
want
that-
more friends than
More,
parents.
yeah, you become more like a guide or a philosopher for them rather than a parenting authority.
I think it's a very good and dynamic idea you have given, sir.
That is where I have seen a lot of clashes that happens with the students and the teachers. The teachers are still thinking that they are
Their
parents.
parents.
We are not.
Sir, any one-liner guideline for the students if you have
So
something
I
to
want the
say?
students to be professionally competent, socially relevant. I want them to be torch bearers of the
Society.
new profession. The profession need rebuilding of its image. I think it is in the hands of them.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for sparing
Thank you,
time. And indeed, it is a great pleasure for all of us to have listened such a wonderful orator, such a highly accomplished legal expert, and such a humble personality. Sir, once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for
And
inviting. It's a great
I have no
opportunity.
word to express my gratitude towards
No,
you,
I am
sir.
really impressed with the students because this is the first, maybe they are just 2 months.
Not under 2 months, sir.
Not
We
even
started on 21st of August, sir. So it is 3 days lesser than 2 months.
2 months. So they are already into the groove of law school, so they are fine.
So thank you once again,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.